Kevin Acee in Padres Daily, his newsletter. This is the update. Joe Musgrove, he stood on a mound yesterday for the first time since going on the IL 2 weeks earlier with inflammation in his right elbow. He did not throw on the mound yesterday. He spent almost a half hour doing flexibility exercises and working to retrain his body as he attempts to slightly alter his delivery in order to take some stress off his arm. So when I see that, and I posted this, and a lot of Padres fans were like, all right, just have the surgery now, Joe. And I'm here to tell you that's not happening. It's Joe Musgrove. He's trying to win, and he thinks that he can help this team win. And it's June 16th. You want to have surgery and give up on the season? That's not who Joe Musgrove is. It's not going to happen. It's one thing if it was September 16th, it's June 16th. And so he is going to try to get back on that mound. It's as simple as that. He's not going to want to sit out when this is another year of his prime gone. Darvish isn't getting younger. King's under contract for what, this year, next year? Same thing with Arise, Dylan Cease. Not, Manny's in his prime. Tatis, obviously. Like, they're not going to sit out and just go get surgery so he doesn't have to sit out longer for next year. If he has to sit out at some point next year, at the beginning of next year, then that's what's going to happen. I would rather have someone try. Don't go get the surgery right now on June 16th. Go try. So here's the rest of this update. But I just wanted to get that out there because there's a lot of people on social media that are saying, go get the surgery, or here comes the surgery. I would just say, hey, let's wait a little bit on that. But altering his delivery, some also were like, well, that's just going to lead to more injuries. But I don't know the exact specifics on it. He did mention about like how his release is tight, I think. He said here, it's about the slider. His new slider is part of the problem and is considering how to alter either the grip or wrist action. But he has also always had a very high stress finish. One of the things he is working on is how to alter that finish. It has to do with his front left hip and how he is landing so that he cannot have his arm absorb so much of that final portion of his delivery. So, again, I don't know exactly what's happening here. New slider, okay. High stress finish. Alter the finish. Front left hip. But it's one of those things for me, like, I want to see what the adjustment is visually, like actually see it, then try to picture it in my mind before I go judging, oh, this is just going to lead to hip injury or lead to other injuries, or, oh, this is just going to increase the odds for surgery. Joe says here, by the way, I don't know that there's one specific thing that we could say fix this and it won't happen again, but I do think that the delivery, the release point, and like how it's coming out of my hand right now that it's aggravated, I've got to try to make some kind of adjustment to not re-aggravate it without having months of rest time and let it calm down. I got to find a way to adjust. And that makes sense. If Joe knows that he has a high stress finish, and he felt it, by the way, that arm on, I believe, the last slider. Yeah, he was feeling good in that last bullpen, or in his final start. It wasn't until he threw a slider at the end of his bullpen session before his next scheduled start that he felt the pain return. So it feels like a big problem there is the slider. So is it going to have to get to a point where just don't throw a slider? Is it this new delivery? Is that going to work? Will he be able to pitch and not feel anything if he doesn't throw a slider? And can he be effective without a slider? If that's what it's going to take. And if that's what it's going to take, then that's what Joe's going to do, because he wants to be on the mound. He knows he's one of the leaders of this team. He knows that he's one of the frontline guys that the Padres are counting on. So he's going to try to find a way. And I'd rather have that in the year 2024. This isn't 2028. Coming off the most disappointing season in franchise history, I want Joe Musgrove to try to get back on the mound. Obviously, when he's healthy, get back on the mound, give it a go. If he has to have surgery at some point, okay. But I'd rather him try it when it's not like the Padres have a World Series or an NL pennant to look back on here, you know? We're trying to win right now, right? Musgrove, after doing that half-hour flexibility thing, said, "I feel good, but it's hard when I haven't done the one thing that caused me pain." He plans to play catch for the first time either Wednesday in Philadelphia or Thursday in San Diego. I think within that first day, we'll be able to tell if we should continue progressing or if it needs a little more time. So that's really the update there. Again, late July is probably the earliest. After the All-Star break, definitely. I would be surprised. I would be really surprised if it's any time before the All-Star break. He needs time to ramp up. There could be setbacks. So yeah, that's really the update. Remember, what he is dealing with: bone spur, there's bone bruise, triceps tendonitis he's dealt with. So there's a lot going on there. So gotta be careful again. But though I'm not at the point where I'm like, no, just go get the surgery. No, not. And it's easy to say that as a fan too. Having when you're the person that actually has to go in there and have a surgery on your arm when you're a pitcher, that's probably a lot harder to deal with and accept, like, okay, I got to go have the surgery, than a fan sitting on their couch saying, just go get the surgery. We're not the ones that have to go get the surgery. And about the surgery, um, arthroscopic surgery, which typically requires a 6-week recovery process for a major league pitcher to return to action. Musgrove said, "I haven't thought too much into that. I'm really kind of just looking forward to when we get home to being able to throw and just seeing where I'm at." So, talks about being home. So, probably throws Thursday then if he's not going to throw Wednesday in Philly. Believes the bigger impediment is the bone bruise, triceps tendonitis as well, not the bone spur in the elbow. He's had that for more than a year, according to Kevin. So that's the update there on Joe. The guys like Adam Mazier, Randy Vasquez, Matt Waldron, hopefully he continues to pitch well. Cease, hopefully he pitches better, doesn't give up the long ball as much. Michael King, he's had some really good outings this year. So gonna have to stick with those guys. Darvish will probably return before he might be returning actually this next homestand, the Milwaukee homestand. He will return before Musgrove will.